Hello. This was a part of a monolithic pour. Let me tell you, a full story, a suspended garage floor, which nobody's home, so I can't show you the full garage. But I bought a 4x8 sheet of galvanized grating. I've got 1.5-inch angle iron embedded with projections out of the angle into the concrete. Looks like it's holding up real well. Got the little drain there. But this is the whole thing. The two back walls, the back wall and the side wall of this garage, a suspended garage floor, and a drainage system. And the reason we had to put in such a thing is just because of that. And you'll have to ask Gary for, like Paul Harvey says, the rest of the story. Oh, by the way, let me just show you this. This is the post. There's the top part of it. There's a telephone post right there that I dug down. I'm tempted to walk around there. I can't. The fence is locked. I'm not going to go back there. But I dug a hole 4.5 feet deep, 2.5 foot in diameter. Stood that post up in the middle of it. And I can't remember when I cut the tree down. There used to be a chestnut oak somewhere over here, but I had to cut it down so the crane could work. But that post ended up holding the first, the guy had to replace the entire foundation, the footer, the foundation, and the first floor, and didn't want to do anything to the bonus room up above here, which has a beautiful mountain view out the back side there, by the way. I suspended that bonus room right here on a 40-foot I-beam to the first load-bearing wall inside the house, which was 25 feet. Which means that I had to hook up with a crane off center of the beam to be able to reach far enough inside the house, because the beam was 40 foot long. I needed to reach 25, and everybody, oh, you're gonna have to cut holes. No, we don't. I took a pretty good sized hunk of the trunk of that chestnut oak that I had to cut down to make it work. Used it as counterbalance on the far short end of the beam, strapped in place securely, and I made sure I got the heaviest guy I knew to hold the end of the guy rope to steady the beam when the crane lifted it in place. We put that beam slit right into a cradle I built on the first load-bearing wall. And then I had him lifted up. I already had the telephone pole cut to the size that it, the height it needed to be. And then that cradle you see there, that's secure in place. And the piece I showed you earlier that's sort of hanging limp on the other side, went up and then stood up, and then there's a hole for it, pre-drilled, slid a bolt through, and it was secure on the top of that pole. And then we started tearing everything else out. Tore out the whole entire first floor, this side wall, then the back wall, the entire foundation, the entire footing, and did everything back to engineer specs, which included and was not limited to 4 extra steel beams that all have cradles inside underneath this floor here, which is suspended, and he's actually got a basement under there now because we suspended the floor instead of what the guy did before. And then, of course, we had to incorporate this drainage system that you see that is still doing well. And the reason that 1.5-inch angle iron is in there is to keep the grating from chafing the concrete. And, whatever I'm doing right now, I'll guarantee it ain't my first rodeo.